Hello, guys, and welcome again to this edition of Learning with Rich. My name is Richard, and for today's topic, I'm going to teach you how to create a family parameters. Okay, so this is the continuation of our discussion for the Revit Architecture Certified Professional Examination Review. So for today's topic, so we're gonna talk about how to create family parameters. Right. Okay. So you can create new instance parameters or type parameters for any family type. So the reason why we are creating new parameters is you'll be able to have more control over the information contained in each family instance or type. Okay, so you should know by now what's the difference between the instance or type. So you can create dynamic family types for increased, let's say, flexibility within the model. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to create parameters to a family. Okay, so we're not going to use any exercise file, but we're just going to use the default here, the default metric. Okay, actually you can use any template, but I prefer to use the architectural since we are working on architectural uh, review. Okay, so I'm going to use the default metric template to create the project, and I'm just going to create here a wall. Okay, so I'll create a wall. Okay, so I'm going to create the wall. So I'll click the wall here. Okay, so that's the wall tool. So I'll just create wall. Let's say the height is until level 2, just like that. Okay, then I'll just create something like this. Okay, so this is my wall. So just a review, the difference between the instance parameters or type parameters is this. Okay, so this is my properties. Okay, so if you are going to select any object or any family or any element in your Revit project, if you click that, let's say I'm gonna click the wall. So once you click that, you will notice the properties here will change. Okay, so I want you to notice that. So I'm gonna go ahead and select modify here, and I'm going to repeat again. So I'm going to select modify. What will happen is it will deselect the object. So as you can see, the properties here shows the properties of the view. Okay, so we call this view properties. If you do not select any object, if you do not select any elements or family in your project, the properties here will show you view properties, meaning the properties of the view. Like, for example, the scale is 1:100, the discipline is architectural, and so on and so forth. Okay, but if you are going to select an object, let's say this wall, I'm going to go ahead and select this one, you will notice the properties will change. This is what we call instance properties. Okay, so here you can see the instance parameters. Okay, so these are the instance parameters. So what will happen is if you modify any of these instance parameters from your instance properties, it will only affect the selected element or elements. So in case you selected 3 walls, 2 walls, okay, if you change that properties here, it will affect only those selected element or elements. Okay, so remember that. So if you have another wall here that is not selected, so what will happen is if you modify this, this is the only wall that will be affected, not the other wall that is not selected. So basically, that's your instance properties, and then this is the instance parameters. Okay, so these are the instance parameters. Now, if you're going to select your edit type, so what will happen is it will open the type properties. So this is the second type of the properties. Actually, it's the third type of properties because there's the view properties, there's the instance properties, and then the type properties. Okay, so type properties. So what is the difference of this from the instance properties? The difference is that once you select an object here, you select the edit type, it will show you here the type of that particular element. Okay, so what will happen is if you change this type parameter, so you see it its type parameters. This is instance parameters. This is type parameters. So if you change any type parameter from these type properties, what will happen is it will affect all the generic 200 mm type of basic wall. So even if you do not select other wall, let's say you have 100 walls like this that is created, scattered all over your project, but you only selected this and then you change the property from the type properties, it will not only affect this one, but it will also affect the other 100 walls. Okay, as long as they are on the same type, as long as they are the same generic 200 mm. So that's the difference between your type parameters, type properties, and instance properties, instance parameters. Okay, so here, any changes that you made in your type properties from the type parameters, it will not affect not only this, okay, but all the elements that has the same type. Okay, I'm gonna cancel this one. Now, if you change the instance parameters, it will only affect the selected element or elements. Okay, so basically that's the difference between the instance and type parameters for any family type. Now, like what I've said, I'm going to show you how to add family parameters to your family. So let's say I'm going to insert here a door. So I'm going to select insert. I'm going to select load here. Okay, so I'm going to select the exam. So this is the family that I wanted to load. I'm going to select open. There you go. All right, so after it loads, so I'm going to select here architecture. And then I'm going to select here door. Okay, so this is the door that I just loaded. So I'm going to place it here. All right, so I'm going to place one. There you go. And then I'm going to select here modify. Right. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add parameter to my door. Okay, so I want to add parameter to my door here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the door. Again, it will show you here. What's this? Do you remember? Instance parameters. And then if you select edit type, you will see here type parameters. Okay, so I want to add parameters to my type property. So let's say I want to add type parameters. Okay, I want to add type parameters. So I'm going to select here OK to close the type properties or cancel. Right, so again, I select the door. To add parameter or to modify the family to add parameter, so what you can do is you can select edit type. Okay, just select edit type, click that one. There you go. So what will happen is Revit will open the family editor because in during the examination there is this task that will ask you to do this kind of exercise wherein in the examination they're going to ask you to open the family editor of this particular family, and you're going to ask to explore the family properties of that particular family. If I remember it right, the family that you are going to modify there is the bed. Okay, I think it's the queen bed size, something like that. So it will ask you to modify that for a particular family. They are going to ask you to modify the sizes and create a family type. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is, so I want to add a parameter for this door. Okay, so I'm going to add, or I'm going to change first the view to elevation. Okay, so let's say I'm going to select here interior to open the interior elevation. Okay, there you go. So I'm going to add an extrusion. Okay, so I want to modify the door. Actually, this is too advanced. Okay, so that once you encounter the exercise, it will be easy for you to modify that, because these exercises that I'm showing you guys are quite advanced. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select your extrusion, and then I'm going to select your set work plane. So I want to create the extrusion on this face. Okay, so I want to set the work plane to be placed here on this space. Okay, so I select set work plane. So I'm just going to add here extrusion. So pick a plane. So I'm going to select here, select elements by face, pick a plane. Okay. All right. So I'm going to pick now this face. As you can see, it's now highlighted. So what will happen is the work plane will be placed here on this face. So I pick. There you go. And then after that, I'm just going to create here a rectangle. So this is the rectangle. Okay. So let's say I'll just create a very simple rectangle here, just like this. There you go. So let's say I'll just change the height. Say 300. Okay, so 300. Okay, where's the number? 300. There you go. And then I select here modify. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to specify the thickness. So let's say about 20. All right. And then I select here check. There you go. And then I select here modify. So if I'm going to select the 3D view here, so this is how it looks like. So there is an extrusion on my door. Okay, so there's an extrusion on my door. Right, so I'm now going to load this into the project. Going to load, or probably let me just change first the material. So I select this. I go to the material here. I click the ellipsis button. And I'll look for wood. Okay, select this one and then okay. There you go. Okay. And then after that, I'm going to load that family to my project. So basically, this is what you are going to do during the examination. So you need to modify the family, and then after that, you reload it into the project. So I'm going to select load into project, and then I'll just override the existing version and its parameter values. There you go. So I see now, there's the extrusion. So if I go to the 3D view and orbit it, so this is how it looks like. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change here the graphic display options to shaded view, and then you will now see this one. So as you can see, that's how you modify the family. Now I'm going to create a parameter. Okay, so I'm going to create a family parameter that will enables me to turn on and turn off this wood that I just added to my door. Okay, all right. So to do that, so I just need to select again the door, select the door, and then I just need to select again edit family. Okay, right? Okay, then after that, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a parameter. To create a parameter, what you can do is you can click this family types. Okay, so as you can see, these are the parameters. So to create a new parameter, what you can do is you can select here new parameter. Okay, so you just select new parameter and then you just specify the name. So let's say I'm going to call this extruded as kick. All right, so I'm going to call that door kick or whatever is that. Okay, and then I'm going to put it as a type parameter. You know already the difference between the instance and type parameter, right? So type parameter, so what will happen is this parameter, you can see this if you open the type parameters or the type properties. So if I select your instance, so what will happen is this door kick parameter will be seen on my instance properties here. Okay, so but I do not want to place my door kick. So let's say I want to place that on my type properties to make it as a type parameter. Okay, and then for the discipline, I'll just select here common. We have several discipline here. MEP discipline, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, structural, like that. So since we are doing architectural, so I'll just select here common. Right. So for the type of parameters, so we have here some different type of parameters. We have text. If you select text, it's a completely customizable, can be used to collect unique data. So if you use integer, okay, so the parameter would be a value that is always expressed as an integer. Number, it is number. Length can be used to establish the length of an element or subcomponent. What we need here for the parameter that I'm going to create is I want to use a yes no parameter. Okay, yes no parameter. There you go. And then after that, I want to place this door kick parameter under the group visibility. Okay, so visibility, because I want to create a visibility parameter for this extruded element, I'm going to assign the door kick parameter. Okay, so I'll just select OK. So there's the door kick, and then I select here OK. Right. Okay, then the next thing that we are going to do after I create that parameter, I'm now going to select this kick element, this extruded element, and then after that, I'm going to assign the visibility of that. I'm going to click this. As you can see, there's the visible here. So I'm going to select this button here, click that, and then I can see now there my yes no parameter, which is the door kick, the one that we just created. So we are going to apply this to this element here. So I select here OK. There you go. Right. Okay. So now that it is now already applied, that uh, family parameter, that visibility parameter. So I'm now going to load it again back to the project and override the existing version and its parameter values. There you go. Now, to test that, I can click this one, and then I can edit the type. And where is that? There you go. So there's the visibility door kick parameter, wherein I can uncheck this one, and then I select here OK. There you go. It's turned off. If you want to turn it on, you click edit type, and you can check that one. There you go. So if you want to make this visibility parameter, this door kick parameter, to be instance properties, I mean instance parameters, you want to see that door kick parameter on your instance properties, you just need to change the type of the family of that parameter. Okay, I mean the type of that parameter. You just need to change that. You just need to select again the door, edit family, and then you go to the family types, and then you look for door kick parameter. You just click that one, and then you can edit that, edit, and then you can change here the type. So let's say, oh, I do not want that to be placed on my type properties. I want it on my instance properties. So I'll just select instance here, and then I select here OK, and then I select here OK, and then load it back into the project, override the existing version and its parameter values. There you go. So if I click this one, you will now be able to see there your door kit. So I'll just uncheck this. There you go. Okay. So basically, that's how you create a common family parameter, which is your visibility parameter. Okay. So basically, you are going to do this uh, in your examination. Another thing that you're going to do on your examination is there is this task that will ask you to create a family type in your project. It's very simple. So there's this question. Let's say I'm going to select this. in the question, so you need to create a new family type of, let's say, M door family 1000 by 2000. So as you can see, there is no 1000 and 1000 by 2000 here, right? So you need to create that family type in your project. It's simple. So if you want to create an M door family 1000 by 2000 type of doors, all you have to do is to select this door, the M door family, and then you select edit type. And then there's the option here, duplicate. Okay, just duplicate that and change the name. So let's say you want 1000. Okay, 1000 by 2000 mm, and then okay. There you go. You just created a new family type. Now, the next thing that you need to do, of course, you need to change also the type properties here. Type parameter, sorry. So the height is 2000, and then the width is 1000. 1000. There you go. And then you just select OK. There you go. You just created a new family type. Okay? Right. So that's it for this video. If you like this video, if you learned something from this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe my YouTube channel. All right? So once again, thank you for watching, guys. Until next time, bye-bye.